Hello and welcome back to Gamecast. Today you're joined by the big guy for Formula 1 2018. I have eventually, after Season 4, decided to go, you know what, I'm going to turn off the racing line. Only about 200 hours into this game. But first I want to show you this, just to show where we are. I'm in the Mclaren, so we're second best car on the grid just about. But if you look at our performance trees, we're looking at decent chassis, brilliant aero, mid-pack engine, so down the straights we're going to get absolutely mullered. So we're now at the beginning of qualifying. This is my first lap out the pits. I'm not going to run full beans on my outlap. In fact, I'm going to run basically no beans on my outlap. In fact, even with no beans you can feel how much looser this car is once you take all the fuel out. So much more nimble, although the back end's a bit looser. The other problem I have in this, I tend to overheat the front left, so in my race runs I'm going to have to start lifting off a little bit through fast right-handers. Anyway, here we go, ready? Catapult me down the straight to 180 already. We're going to be doing about north of 200, about 208, 210 I'd say. We're doing about 206 in practice, but we've got a new engine and full beans. Down to third for that first corner, up to fourth. Lift a bit mid-corner, flat out to the left-hand side, then pull it back to the right. Keep that steering lock on, up to 8th, now braking under the Pirelli bridge just as we go under it. Down to 4th, wait for the front to grip, bring the throttle in. Every chance to lose a little bump on the right hand side, I use my braking marker. Down to 3rd, wait for it to start biting and get the throttle on without spinning out the rears. There we go, into this. This is a nasty little corner, this one as well. I don't like much of this track, to be honest. You're going to try and straight line that on exit. Now through here, down to 6th, flat, up to 7th. Try not to lose the rear end quite that much, open the DRS a little bit too early, probably braking at 100 metres, down to 2nd, clip that inside. Be careful on the throttle, I've gone a little bit wide through there, but that's alright, it's only Q1. 3rd, 4th, be careful of the rear end, be careful of the fact you can easily go off the track there, down to 4th. You can clip that inside slightly less than that ideally. This has been a very scruffy final sector. Let's see where that puts us. A 1:16.3 isn't bad. Okay, let's turn her back down and bring her out to the pits. And then Alonso just smashes a second off of my lap time. Jesus Christ, Fernando. But my first sector time always holds up extremely well. That's probably why I destroy the tyres.
We seem to be having some software issues at the moment. Sit tight for a few minutes while we reboot some things, okay?
Alright, I'll put my feet up. So I don't know how long we've actually got, so you don't get until we get a 5-minute warning. So essentially I'm going to push on my outlaps as well. Through there, nice and committed, little lift. You blip the throttle through there basically. With 3/10 off my teammate, but we've got my worst sector to go now. Definitely my worst sector. And back to the track, eventually, after 23 seconds. With new set of tyres, we're going again. Blend the throttle, you can do it, but then don't do that, don't do that. Come on, come back out, that's it. We're a bit gravelly on the tyres, but here we go. Right onto the Astro as much as I can, running in a bit of full deployment for top speed and then going back to full deployment for a whole lap. We're normally doing 20.7 issues through the first sector. Let's see if we can do one of them now. That'll give us 6/10 on Alonso. I felt pretty smooth through there, to be honest. When you're not really thinking and you're steering through, that's when you know you're doing good lap. Braking earlier into there to try and maximise exits. Full throttle now. Flat, flat, flat down here. How much are we up? How much are we up? 2/10. That was worse than my other lap. I straight line that curb on the inside. But nearly lost the back end through there. Okay, as she came right, this can lose you loads of time. I could have run it a little bit wider there. I'm looking for a 1:15 though. 1:15.7. 7/10 off Alonso. Okie dokie, Alonso didn't improve. But he's nearly in the 14s. That is ridiculous pace. I was happy with I was happy being on 16 dead for a lot of that. And he's in the almost 15 dead. Mind you, I did close the gap. I was a second off in Q1, then about 9 tenths in Q2, now only 7 tenths. So, by that logic, if we had Q 6.5, I'll be up there with Alonso. So here we go, it's race day today. I'm going to let Croft introduce you. I think it's Crofty for this one.
Good afternoon from a very
yes, it is.
setting. It's race day here in Spain, and with everything still to play for in the championship battle, there's no room for mistakes in a Grand Prix that's well known for creating them. Let's take a look at how the cars line up. Fernando Alonso has a good view of turn 1 from his pole position slot. Edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, the rookie, Daniel Ricciardo, and Sainz, Raikkonen, Hülkenberg, Ericsson, and Lewis Hamilton, Grosjean, Bottas, Kevin Magnussen, and Leclerc, Hartley, Perez, Pierre Gasly, and Lance Stroll, Ocon, and Sergei Sirotkin rounds off the grid.
Expected, no rain expected.
Thank God for that, so I've got no idea when I'm supposed to brake in the rain. Clutch is in. Revs are on. That wasn't a bad launch actually. Saying that, I'm not good at the second phase. As you can tell by the fact Vettel's just sodded off. Braking at 100 metres, so I'm on the inside, so I want to brake a little bit early. Been done by Ricciardo there. Now going back round to his outside, trying to stay on track. Nope. So Ricciardo's had me. I might be able to get back to him here. Going around the outside into this one. There we go, we're back to our starting position. Trying to push the exit there. No, Jeff, I hit the grass. This track is, I think, was originally a motorbike circuit. And your motorbikes use a slightly more flowing lines compared to the Formula 1 cars. They don't have the final chicane and that left hand at the end of the back straight. They go further down and come around a little bit of a softer angle. But apart from that, I think they take every other corner the same we do. Of course, they're going to be hilariously slower because they've got much less tyre contact and also a lot less power and downforce. Pretty sure a MotoGP bike generates basically no downforce. Well, if you take anything compared to a Formula 1 car, it must be LMP1s, they generate basically no downforce. I messed up the gears there. While trying to change my RS in that settings, I'm only used to hit the gears. And down the inside. Got him. Just dispatched him into one. I didn't know that was going to stick. Our front left is overheating. We always have this problem around this track. Did mention it in one of my quali runs, I think. 103 isn't too bad. When it starts getting to like 105, you just absolutely lose all your grip. Okay, box the slap, get some new tyres on, be more careful on them. A-firm, Jeff, A-firm. Lost the rear through there. All these tyres are wearing, getting too hot. Things I would normally be backing off now, but now as I know I'm boxing this lap, I'm happy just to completely thrash that front left tyre. Look at the temperature on that thing now. It's absolutely died, that tyre. Even with the blankets, you have to get up to about 80, you have to get back to about 90 degrees before they actually start to grip anywhere. I've got the more grip, I'm going to use it. Can be a little bit opportunistic through here. We've got to be. As Leclerc's holding them up. I really don't want to be stuck at the back of this train. Nearly hit Hartley there. So I was planning to go a little bit deep and then Hartley was right sitting on the apex. I'm willing to try it anywhere as I demonstrated through the chicane. Little snap through there. Put me out wide on exit. Not only did I lose time through the chicane, couldn't get back on throttle. It's this sort of cornering load that really does the tyres in, and they won't quite take that flat. Whereas I'm now backing off a bit, trying to keep the tyres in because Verstappen is too far ahead for me to actually catch up. Okay, this lap coming up is going to be a fast one. In qualifying, this tyre would be doing a 16, like 3. So if I can get if I can get into the 17s, I'll be happy. I've got no DRS. Carrying about another 20 mile an hour through the apex there. You can tell how much I'm backing off through that corner just to preserve the tyres. Gone too tight there. Clip the inside, knock the bollard out of the way, but that'll probably be fine. Get that inside done, then run back to that curb there. And where's that going to put us lap time wise? That is that is the fastest lap of the race, which is basically what I wanted. And hopefully no one else is going to go any faster now, because everyone's going to start wearing out their tyres. But that has also put me right into the danger zone of that front right. So sitting around 103 on the left hand side of this car is too warm for my comfort. I'm backing off enough to save the tyre temperatures, and I'm losing too much ground to Vettel behind me. So I'm kind of in a bit of no man's land here. I've got Hamilton behind me. Hamilton and Vettel have stopped fighting. I may have to start pushing in a second. Need to keep informed of that gap. If it drops to 1.5, I'm going flat out. Okay, what's the gap? 1.3, okay. Tyre saver's just gone out the window. Push as hard as I dare. But I've made a mistake through T1 there. Went deep into T2. So I couldn't push too hard through there. It's 1.7 now. Driver behind. Someone slow through T1 as well.
Roger that. Soft tyres at the next pit stop.
Driver behind. Driver behind.
Hamilton behind. Our gap behind
At
is
1.6 now. We've managed to pull it out a little bit compared to down the main straight.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining. Hamilton is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 1.6 seconds. They're on old softs. Their tyres are 9 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:19.
There's a track here somewhere. 105, that's a bit warm for my taste, but we can run full hot lap mode for this entire lap now. Going to slightly stiffen up the rear diff to get a little bit more turn in.
The car behind us is lapping faster than us by around 1 second per lap.
But because this is our last lap, it doesn't really matter how much we destroy that front left, does it? We need to keep this position. Hamilton's definitely got better pace than me now. When he starts pushing up into the 106s, you start to lose quite a lot of grip out of it. I need to get a good exit out of this chicane. So really slow in, hold it, he's got to sit behind me. Got it, but not by much. I'm too hard on my tyres.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
That front left for that entire second stint was just basically every time I pushed it would start screaming. But managed to hold the podium. I'll tell you what though, once you learn the track without racing on it, is much better experience, to be honest. I was so glad he spent most of the time fighting with Vettel behind, so that probably really helped me out. Otherwise I would have been defending for the entire lap.
It's going to be Mclaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance. Fernando Alonso takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship
bugger.
after that excellent result. Now then, Anthony David.
He's just stolen my Drivers' Championship thing.
Fernando Alonso, wherever he is, whatever team he's in, when is he not just brilliant?
He's 1 point ahead of me at the top. But McLaren's definitely holding that constructors.
Standings. McLaren move further clear at the top. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
I'm going to echo that. Thank you very much for watching. That's goodbye from me. That was the Spanish Grand Prix in a McLaren. That's a bit of an upgraded one, otherwise you wouldn't be winning. But thank you very much for watching. It's goodbye from me, and I'll see you next time.